Good morning. I am Fred. This is the Daria Reactions. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back. For those who don't know what this is, it's not a first-time reaction series. Because as I stated before, and I will keep stating again, that I was in high school when Daria was first airing on MTV back in the late 90s. I was a fan of the show back then. But in the cases of many of these episodes, it's been well over 25 years since I've, sat down and watched them on an individual basis. So it's been a fun trip going back through, testing what I remember, and diving back into the episodes, seeing what holds up and what doesn't, being amazed by certain elements that either I totally forgot about or completely overlooked. Again, from back when I was in high school till now, I'm in my early 40s. Uh, so examples of things that just stand out to me, like went over my head, like as a high schooler, many years ago, and about 150 pounds. The things like Britney's intelligence in terms of how smart Britney is, in terms of her own aspirations and such, as well as her rather physical and combat prowess, as we saw and discussed last week with the Daria Hunter episode. So this week we have Quinn The Brain from season 2. What I remember about this episode, this is the episode where Quinn, I believe she writes an essay uh, that gets her labeled as quote unquote a brain, and but at the same time, because Quinn is so immensely popular, just based on her looks, that her being labeled a brain kind of launches her into another level of popularity, but at the expense of her friendship, quote unquote, with the fashion club. And I say quote unquote there because it's really Tiffany. I believe firmly that Quinn gets along very well with Stacy and Tiffany. It's really more of like that passive aggressive ongoing feud with Sandy that is the driving force and nature of conflict here. And this is an episode that kind of drives that home a bit. This is also the episode where we get to, if memory serves me right, Quinn has her like her solid black like poetry jam style outfit. It's like I think it's like a black turtleneck with black pants. I think she wears some type of sunglasses and a beret. Like again, a straight black ensemble. And this is also the episode where Daria has to teams up with the three J's: Jeffrey, Joey, and Jamie. Again, I won't be surprised if I got one of their names wrong. But the key thing is that Daria ends up dressing up as Quinn and acting like, okay, a bit of a role reversal. And it's one of the first major times that we see Daria in a completely different outfit, even if it ends up going to be for just like maybe about a minute, if that, towards the end of the episode. But yeah, we'll see what we got there. Anyway, how we also do this here, we also do the episodes in full on display capture. I do turn the composite blur on and off. Any audio you hear is going to be residual from my speakers being picked up by my microphone, which is right here. Mainly because I don't like wearing earbuds and stuff unless I'm doing voice chat and things of that nature. Plus, also avoid any conflict with uh, audio things being picked up and with the DMCA's and stuff like that, because we're riding a fine line here essentially. Um, So with that said, let's get into it. Timothy O'Neill, winners grade grading is a very unfair competitive system. An F plus? I was like, what the heck is an F plus? I'm just curious on that. Oh, Quinn is in trouble? Oh. What about her performance? Yeah, clearly he believed that she did not copy it off of anyone. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, that's what she means. Oh no, hard work? It's like that's the worst kind of work. Wait, Mr. O'Neill wanted to be on the gymnastics team. That that is actually quite interesting there. Jake doesn't. Jake is trying to chill out. Movie phone. Damn, that's an old. That takes me back. Hello, this is movie phone. If you want to see Brown Eye Girl, press 1. Granted, that was more of a Seinfeld reference, but still, that movie phone was essentially was a real thing. Good question. What do the backup singers do? Ask the Supremes as it relates to Diana Ross. And the answer is be very, very jealous about the lead singer's success. Daria is very encouraging. Yeah, she already heard the speech about joining a team in high school and needing to practice. She got caught cutting class? I can believe it. You know, that would be Sandy now that I think about it, given the depth of Sandy's actual voice. That is a great shot there, but Daria's head looked a little bit weird. Damn it, I can't talk today. $30. Quinn open mouth, insert foot. What is with this dude's voice? What is that? She got dressed up. Granted, that is a great look for Quinn, but she got dressed up to dump him. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, yeah, it's very terrifying that Quinn has to do her own work for a change. Platform jellies, damn. Do they even make those anymore? Oh no. Oh yeah. Again, considering that two of the three J's are in her class, one would think is like, why are they laughing at her? No, again, public embarrassment, public shaming, or in this case, public praising can be very harmful to people. She is much improved. Again, the Morgendorfers just eating lasagna all the damn time. Stunned as in like electric shocks. All right, that's setting a precedent. Daria is going to cash in on that. It is a double standard. Daria makes an excellent point. It would demotivate her. Hey, Jake is going to end up being broke. That much is obvious, Jake. The Lawndale Lowdown. Not a bad idea for a series. I mean, again, this is again how if Quinn is put when push comes to the shove, Quinn can impress people with her mind. Uh, that shoot, bomb scares and in the high school. That again, that was very much a thing back then. Yeah, the future. Yeah, that's the future, all right. Yeah, Quinn does make a great point there in terms of cutting class to speak with Daria, and wow, Daria and Jane just literally appeared. That that was kind of weird with how they just appeared into the shot there. Brittany is a brain. I take it back. Brittany is a brain at times, but yeah. Daria is pissed. Yeah, how does one put a drum solo into an essay to make it jazzy? Oh no. The last name, okay, Mr. O'Neill is cool, but the fact that he doesn't realize, okay, the last names are Morgendorfer. How could he not realize that they would know each other? That wasn't so much of a poem. It was more of a haiku. Epic poem there from Daria. Slammed the door on the head. And I was right in terms of Quinn's look. It was right about the turtleneck, but I didn't remember it was a cropped turtleneck. How the hell is that even a thing? Yeah, that beret looks like it's about two sizes too big for Quinn's head, and then I realized the amount of hair she has. I'm surprised that MTV didn't really spin off like Six Sad World into an actual series, a live action series of sorts. Daria is not in the gang. Yeah, that's about right. Yeah, nobody likes to be middle age. You got nothing. Yeah, that which is actually the whole point of this episode from Daria's point of view. I think he was going to shake her. You know what's kind of weird about Quinn's outfit here? It does have this weird red outline at times. Yeah, we always gotta look slender. Hence why most of the t-shirts I wear are black. Granted, I make black clothes look fat, but still. How the hell? Why the hell is Sandy concerned about Quinn? That's kind of like a weird thing there. Again, again, Tiffany's voice doesn't quite sound like where I feel like it should be, with how slow she speaks. But yep, she has two heads. Wait, this is the. Is this like the first direct interaction with Quinn and Jane? Who the hell's Pavlov? Oh yeah. What isn't eating the way at Daria's soul this episode? Nope, never. You're always going to be judged by your appearance. So that, hence why I choose to be a fat guy. Oh, and here come the three J's wanting Quinn back to normal. I actually really thought it was more their idea than Daria's, but still. So again, this kind of shocks me that Daria would even have a pink shirt in her wardrobe to begin with, or even have like standard makeup materials either. Again, soda. I mean, you gotta feel for Daria's pain, but it is a great look for her as an alternate attire. Five, four, three, two. It's pretty. It's again. It's a great way to return to the status quo. Hmm. All right. Clearly not much in many ways for me to talk about that stuff in the moment, but again, it's a real great episode in terms of like Quinn, because Quinn has moments throughout this episode where she is leaning totally into being an intellectual. Where it's she discovers, she gets into writing poetry, well, in essence, writing a haiku about French fries. She realized, poems don't necessarily have to rhyme. That she considers like, I can do a lot of writing and have a career this way. So Quinn does lean into it, and because of her looks and everything, she sets a trend. It's like people start following the way she is dressing, which of course has that again another like head to head conflict with Sandy in the fashion club, who essentially boots her from it. And Quinn more or less was going to be was totally going to accept it. I mean, what gets Quinn back on track is Daria essentially stealing her identity, and or at least taking her attributes. It's like, okay, dressing cute. I was like, getting the multiple dates at the same time. So it's like, so Quinn goes from the extreme fashionista to being like, I want to say towards the intellectual side, but not enough, does not go far enough to where her own vanity is like is going to pull her back. It takes Daria having multiple dates for her to realize like, yeah, no, this is not going to be for me, because I don't want to Quinn does not want to give up. It's like having all these guys fawning over her for her looks and stuff, and having being able to coast that way, at the while showing off her again her hidden level of intelligence and things of that nature. I do believe this is the first time Jane and Quinn have like a direct interaction. And I know it's not the last time. There is an episode later on where Quinn is going from house to house. Because Jake, Helen, and Daria are out of town for whatever reason, and Quinn ends up at the Lane's residence. So I know there's that. So this is like the first direct time where it was like I believe it's the first time they had like a direct conversation where Quinn is asking Jane for like some input and advice in a way. I know I was talking over it, or because there was a shot there where Brittany is pissed at Kevin about he's wanting to like observe Quinn because of her intelligence. And it's like, if I could see how a smart person acts, it's like it'll help us out. Even though we very much know that Brittany, at this point, it's already been very much established. Brittany is rather intelligent. I mean, you don't really see Mr. DiMartino snapping at her as much as he does Kevin, because Brittany has that roundabout way of thinking. And of course, she can kick ass and come back with a combat strategy on the fly. Again, referring to last week. Jake and Helen is like taking on that more parental role. Obviously, that's the parents, and Jake kind of getting in trouble with rewarding Quinn once for getting a good grade, but then realize, it's like, okay, the conflict of interest and the double standard with Daria. That was a cute little scene there. The rather brief running gag with Mr. O'Neill and then Helen telling Quinn essentially the same thing. Well, when I was in high school, I wanted to try out for either the gymnastics team or the swim team. And it's like, and Quinn does not want to hear either version of it. Either it's something that she's been told, a story that she's been told multiple times before Mr. O'Neill brings it up. But I think she has like a justified reaction to that. All in all, a very good episode of the series. Again, it's a very memorable episode, primarily for Daria and Quinn's attires in the third act more than anything else. So with that said, we'll wrap this up here. I would say like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff if you're so inclined. And we'll see you next time for another episode of this series. Till next time, tighten your friendship bracelets, stay safe. We'll see you later. Bye.